People don't want to watch Unrivaled, not because it's 3-on-3 basketball. There's one reason why they're not watching, and that's Caitlin Clark's not playing. Same reason nobody's watching college basketball right now, because Caitlin Clark doesn't play college basketball anymore. It's the same reason why nobody watched the WNBA until Caitlin Clark.
Unrivaled doesn't have a bad basketball problem. It has a Caitlin Clark problem, and that's the most dangerous kind. The kind you don't feel right away. The numbers don't scream, they whisper. Viewership dips, buzz cools. And suddenly the league looks a lot different when one name isn't attached to it. So what was the plan? Was Caitlin Clark always supposed to be the engine? Did Unrivaled mistake borrowed momentum for real foundation? And if she never shows up at all, what does that future actually look like?
People are pointing it out, like, you name somebody like Asia, you name somebody like Alyssa Thomas, but why aren't you mentioning Caitlin Clark? Like, why aren't you mentioning the person who continues to have the highest viewership, the highest attendance, all of these things, even when she was injured? Because again, she played 13 games this past season. She didn't play very much, but when she was injured and she was still going to away games, she was signing autographs for like an hour before the game even started. Like, you would see on the television, whether it was a home fever game, away fever game, Caitlin Clark would be signing jerseys, signing merch, all these things. And
at first, no one wanted to say it out loud. The league kept rolling, the games kept airing, and the messaging stayed relentlessly upbeat. From the outside, everything looked fine. New partnerships, slick broadcasts, bold promises about the future. But beneath all of that polish, something quiet started to shift. It wasn't obvious at first. No alarms, no headlines. Just a subtle change in the atmosphere. And once you notice it, the entire story starts to look very different.
It's like Caitlin Clark is redeveloping her image as she take over social media all week and long. Caitlin Clark get affected by these type of acts and things. You know, Caitlin herself is doing her part to keep her hype alive. She got big time sneakers that's coming out. Allegedly, there is going to be a reveal for the Super Bowl commercial. We can finally see how Caitlin Clark's shoes are going to look, is what I'm hearing behind the scenes. And that's what this video is going to be about. Caitlin Clark kind of.
Some people treat this like it's just another hit piece. Others insist nothing's wrong, that everything is growing, thriving exactly where it should be. But here's the reality. This isn't about hating Unrivaled. And it's not even about loving Caitlin Clark. It's about patterns. It's about attention. And it's about what happens when momentum quietly depends on one name, whether anyone wants to admit it or not.
That analyst is raising the meetup. But I have to say, like, again, she's with congratulations for the new partnership with SiriusXM or whatever it's called. Congratulations with the partnership. Definitely in terms of like actual, you know, shows, it's her and Rosalina that do put out the best products. Like the likes of myself, Robin, and guys, we just ramble into a microphone, which is what I do well, which is like, I have so much respect for people that actually, you know, put the time in to make like good shows, because I'm not very good at that.
This is about how star-driven sports actually work, and why pretending otherwise keeps blowing up in everyone's face. The piece points to Rachel Dida's breakdown. And before anyone gets weird about that, let's be clear. Rachel actually does this the right way. Thought-out analysis. No theatrics. No agenda. Just following the data and asking the uncomfortable questions people keep trying to dodge.
A league called Unrivaled. It's a 3-on-3 women's basketball league that was started by Nafisa Collier, who plays for the Minnesota Lynx, and Brianna Stewart, who plays for the New York Liberty. Two WNBA players have been the face of this 3-on-3 off-season league, Unrivaled. They've been paying players somewhat significant money to play in the Unrivaled league. This is year 2. The ratings have absolutely collapsed.
Not just someone yelling into a mic and hoping the algorithm takes pity. And that's exactly why her comments hit harder, because she isn't ranting for clicks. She's pointing at numbers and patterns people would rather ignore. Her core argument is simple but uncomfortable. Unrivaled boxed itself into a corner by teasing something it never actually had, Caitlin Clark. In the lead up to season 1, the marketing leaned on suggestion, not confirmation. Just enough smoke to make fans assume fire was coming. Social posts, vague teases, carefully curated vibes, all designed to keep people guessing. And for a while it worked. The buzz was real. The curiosity was real. People tuned in early not because they were suddenly obsessed with 3v3 basketball, but because they thought they were about to witness something bigger. Then reality showed up. Clark wasn't.
Jerseys, signing merch, all these things, and then you would see the stands. There were so many people in Caitlin Clark 22 jerseys. Like, she was still making an impact even though she wasn't on the court. And a part of me is like, okay, I get it. You're using the two teams that were in the finals, but you're not talking about finals attendance. You're not talking about viewership of the finals. You're literally talking about the most viewed players. Caitlin Clark needs to be mentioned. She needs to be mentioned because she is still by far the biggest draw in the WNBA.
Something you couldn't get anywhere else. But once that shine wore off, the cracks showed up fast. Week by week, the numbers slid, not in a way that triggers panic headlines, but consistently, quietly. Playoff games are now pulling fewer viewers than earlier regular season weeks. That's momentum moving in the wrong direction. And here's the irony: as an event, Unrivaled works. Outdoor courts, music blasting, crowds drifting between games. It's chaotic, social, alive. It looks great, feels great. But as a sit-down, broadcast-first, appointment viewing product, that's a much tougher sell. Even the men's version proved that. The big three exploded early because nostalgia did the heavy lifting. Familiar faces, retired NBA names people already had emotional ties to. Women's basketball doesn't have decades of retired legends that casual fans grew up idolizing. Not yet. So it can't lean on nostalgia. It has to lean on active stars. Right now. And that brings the conversation back to the same name it keeps circling back to, Caitlin Clark.
Hey, sports supporters. Well, we're going to talk about Unrivaled's continuing steamrolling towards a full-on demise of the women's 3x3 basketball league. I got to thinking about something. Let me peel back the curtain. I can remember when the news on this league broke. All right. We found out about this league. Matrix sent me a link to the news that there would be a new women's 3x3 basketball league.
The uncomfortable truth isn't that Unrivaled needs her because she's the best player alive. It needs her because she moves people who don't already care. She pulls in casual viewers, people who don't closely follow women's basketball but still tune in because they've heard the name everywhere. That's the difference between being respected and being watched. And no amount of, but the basketball is good changes that, because sports history is ruthless. Great players don't guarantee great ratings. They guarantee rosters that reshuffle and reset. Leagues don't live on parity, they live on individuals. When only a handful of players actually move the needle, losing even one matters. Angel Reese proved that last season. Love her or hate her, people paid attention. Paige Bucher's pulls. Sabrina helps. Aya Wilson brings legitimacy because she's arguably the best player in the world. But legitimacy and attention are not the same thing.